I want to get back to North Korea's missile launch. Kim Jong-un reportedly described the launch as a gift to the American bastards. Joining us now, Lieutenant General Tom McInerney. Lieutenant General, how do we handle North Korea?
Well, this is a very difficult challenge, Charles. There's no question about it. He's trying to provoke us. He did it on the 4th of July, etc. Then he comes out with that uttering, which is absolutely ridiculous. Here's what I think we need to do. At the Group of 10 this Friday, the President ought to be putting a lot of emphasis on diplomatic efforts to counter what North Korea is doing and work on China and Russia. Second, we need to go into very aggressive economic sanctions, and I mean economic sanctions. Anybody that deals with North Korea, Chinese banks or anything, cut them off from dealing with not only U.S. banks, but other global banks. Make it really hurt. We've done that before. It didn't last long, but it hurt. And then we need to look at our military options, Charles. And first of all, they're both conventional and they're nuclear options that we need to look at. On the conventional side, I would beef up our forces in the Pacific, Western Pacific, and put our latest stealth aircraft out there. I put more bombers at Guam. I would build up the marine amphibious forces out there in the region, so if need be, we could use them. I'd increase the THAAD capability in South Korea, and we've got to have a come-to-Jesus meeting with President Moon and say, right, you need those to protect not only the South Korean people, but our 28,000 U.S. military forces there.
Well, sir, with all due respect, those sort of things are being done and have been done. Here's the thing. Kim Jong-un's grandfather, who started the Hermit dynasty, did 15 missile launches, held the rest of the world hostage, and he was paid off. His father did 16 missile launches and, of course, was able to shake down the rest of the world. This is the 83rd missile launch since 2011, and one after another of improving abilities this year alone. It feels like there's a different script here, and no one understands how it's being played, but we all agree on one thing. The clock is ticking, so once we've established those military assets, what's the trigger to use them?
Well, first of all, I don't want to use them, but the trigger to use them is when, and it would have to be a preemptive strike, and we'd have to take out his artillery, which I just want to say, with all the resources and precision, we know exactly where they are. We have far greater capability there today than when I was the DCS Operations and Intelligence for Pacific Air Forces. So, but the trigger is determined, will China help, or are they going to continue to enable Kim Jong-un to do this? That's the trigger. But we're getting close. Within the next year, that is going to have to be executed. It's going to take a year to move these forces out there the way we want to do it and rebalance them. But we need to put massive conventional forces out there, and we also need to start taking steps with nuclear forces. In other words, put U.S. nuclear forces back into South Korea, start talking with Japan about nuclear forces going there, and also have a program that we had in NATO in which the nations sat alert, nuclear alert, on U.S. weapons. In other words, this is very serious. We need a deterrent to his nuclear strategy, and those are some of the steps we ought to start planning and discussing.
General McInerney, clear, concise, and straight to the point. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Charles.